Well, they say it's never easy. You know, every game's going to be hard, and that's what I told our guys in the locker room. You know, number one, give IUPUI a lot of credit. You know, I thought they played really, really hard. They drove the ball, put a lot of pressure on our team in the first half, specifically at the rim. You know, they got to the foul line, I thought, a lot. It was kind of a little bit of a tale of two halves. You know, obviously we got in foul trouble with Paul Scruggs and Tyreek Jones. When they went on their 10-0 run at the very end of the first half, you know, we had kind of a little bit of an awkward lineup in the game. You know, we didn't have Paul Scruggs, obviously didn't have Quentin Gooden, so Elias, who's filling in at the PG position, did as good as he could. And obviously they went on a big run, and you know, I was disappointed, you know, with our response in the first half when they went on their run. But I was really proud of our guys, how we came back in the second half, specifically the leadership of Tyreek Jones, who I think is the heart and soul of our team. Did a really, really nice job making some huge energy plays, some hustle plays, some big offensive rebounds, which I think our team really fed off of. Obviously, you know, Ryan Welch made some shots. You know, it's a law of averages, you know, for Ryan. Ryan's a tremendous shooter. He's earned that right. You know, he did a great job in the second half. He had some great looks in the first half that just didn't go in. But I told him at halftime, just keep on shooting the ball. They're great looks. You know, we've seen them go in over and over and over again in practice. You know, those are the shots that we want on the offensive end. Well, obviously played a lot of 2-3 zone in the second half, you know, just to try to keep them off of the free throw line, which it worked, because we wanted to try to keep our guys on the floor, you know, specifically even Najee Marshall. Najee has not practiced the last 4 days, you know, due to sickness, and I felt like he got really, really, really tired at the end of the first half, and we wanted him to be able to play a little bit longer minutes to try to keep our best players on the floor there in the second half. And our 2-3 zone, we haven't practiced it a ton. I thought it was effective, though. But like I said, you know, it was a hard-earned win. Really, really, really proud of our guys' response there in the second half when we hit a little bit of adversity. I'm glad to get win number one.
That zone that you went to, the 2-3, it looked from the angle I was at as a 1-3-1. Was it like a hybrid 2-3, a kind of a different 2-3 formation, if that's to be said?
Yeah, it's a 2-3 zone. You know, it starts in a tandem, though, a lot of times, because we want to try to throw off the other team as far as what alignment that we start in. But it is definitely a 2-3 zone. We want to try to keep that ball to the high post area, and it's a traditional 2-3.
You know, you talked about Najee, and you know, he ends up leading you guys in minutes, has a career-high 7 assists, and like you said, he missed, you know, the last 4 days of practice. Were you worried that he might not play, and were you impressed by kind of the effort that he put forth tonight?
Yeah, we didn't know if he was going to play or not, obviously, till today. You know, I would have said yesterday I didn't think he was going to play. He wasn't doing very well, but he got significantly better. Dave Fluker did a great job with him, spending nonstop time with him over the last 24 hours to get him ready to play tonight. He was obviously out of rhythm. You know, Najee's a much better player than he played tonight on the offensive end and defensive end. I thought he got really winded, like I said, in the late on in the first half. We played him a little bit too long of extended minutes, but I thought overall he fought through it. You know, he did, and he, like you said, he had 7 assists. I think he ended up with 3 turnovers, which is obviously over a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. I thought he really fought, and I'm really proud of him in that manner.
You know, with the way that IUPUI closed the first half, I thought it's going to be super important for you guys to get off to a good start in the second half, which you did. Kyle Castlin, I think he had 7 points in the first 4 minutes of the second half, and then that kind of fed into Ryan Welch getting going. The 2 grad transfers coming up big to kind of spurt you guys and give you guys a little bit of breathing room in the second half. What did you think about that?
Yeah, they did a great job. You know, both those guys have been tremendous additions to our program. You know, Kyle he's the glue guy. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He does everything. I think he ended up with 8 rebounds. He had 9 points. He makes the right plays. He does a great job defensively within our system. And then Ryan, he's obviously a tremendous shooter and scorer. I don't think he's just a shooter. I think he can do more than that. I think people will see that kind of as the season goes on here. But we're going to rely on those 2 guys for a lot of minutes, and especially with not having Q right now, those guys are even going to have to play even more and do more for us to be a really good team.
we got to see a little bit of Zach tonight and what he can kind of do, and I thought another guy that brought energy and kind of emotion and kind of lifted you guys up in some certain spots. What did you think of the way he played tonight?
I thought number one, Zach did a great job protecting the rim. Deflecting the ball, being a presence around the rim defensively. I think Zach would probably tell you this, like he was a little disappointed with himself on the offensive end. He missed some shots that I think he normally makes, probably some first game jitters. He didn't play in the exhibition game in front of a crowd, but he's been a lot better offensively in practice than he was tonight, and I know he will be. I have full confidence in Zach being a really good player on both ends of the floor for us. What
do you want your guys to walk out of here tonight thinking about?
It's more about us. Obviously, again, give all the credit to IUPUI. Again, I told our guys, every game is going to be hard. Doesn't matter who we're playing, but it's always more about us. And, we always have to be the hardest playing team on the floor, regardless of what's going on the offensive end. The effort has to be there. The effort plays have to be there in order for us to be a good team. But also, again, executing our offensive and defensive system, just being committed to that, and then the rest of it will take care of itself.
Coach, the team scored 19 points off turnovers today. How important is it to have that, to be able to have that defense turn into offense?
It's really important, especially for our group. I think we have to, be more handsy on defense, deflections, whether it's protecting the rim, playing passing lanes, different things like that. We got to create offense off of our defense, especially for this group. We have to be able to get out, and it allows us to get more out in transition and get easy baskets.
I know you want good threes more than a certain amount of threes. Did you feel like you were getting good ones? You shot 29 of them tonight.
Yeah, I thought Ryan had some great looks. In the first half, even when he was missing them, I thought overall he had some good looks. I would like to attack the rim a little bit more. We got to dominate the paint. I want our guys to always have great confidence in the shots, but also have an understanding of like, hey, what's a good shot and what's a bad shot? And that'll be done through film. We've done a little bit of that to this point, not enough, but we got to continue to, again, not settle for threes. We have to be a team that's going to be committed to playing inside out. And again, if that means, hey, through post-ups, through drives, then the ball gets kicked out and it produces a three, then great. But we shouldn't take any contested threes.
You were even up on the boards with them at the half. Were you satisfied with the rebounding edge in the second half? Was it a grit thing?
Yeah, I think it. I was again. Tyreek had a lot to do with there in the second half. He did a great job. But again, our whole team and our guards have to rebound the ball. They can't just rely on Tyreek Jones to go get every rebound. And he wasn't rebounding great in the first half, and I got on him at halftime, and he responded. But, the Kyle Castlins, the Ryan Welledges, those guys are just as responsible as Tyreek Jones and Zach Hankins to rebound. They have to block out their guy. And it's a little bit the same lesson that we learned at Kentucky Westland. Long shots equal long rebounds. Those 50-50 balls we have to come up with. All great teams do. Again, it could have went to IUPUI, it could have went to Xavier. IUPUI was getting a lot of those in the first half, and I let those guys know about it at halftime. That's an area that we definitely have to clean up, and we have to in order to be a successful team. Thank you.